Hello and welcome back to the left side of reality. This is your host as always, Snow the First. Last time we completed a mission for Gebura where we're going to suppress 5 key or below level abnormalities. This time we have the more potentially problematic of the two missions to suppress 5. But much like the He mission, it's not 5 individual VOV abnormalities. It can be the same VOV over and over again. Or in the case of what I want to do, saying 2. Here we have Yin and Yang. We picked these up before, and their gimmick is that if you wear Yang and wait enough time, it will breach. And then Yin will breach alongside it. If they fuse, then they turn into a dragon that reverses the HP and SP of everything in its path and breaches any abnormalities in its path. In fact, I think we even did that on stream once, and it just caused absolute chaos. Now, why am I bringing that up now? Because I've been doing some experimenting off screen for this mission, and I have found that Yin and Yang do have some weaknesses that can be exploited. So first, we'll have Pansy come here and put on Yang. As you can see, all my best white damage people, plus the Marcus with Pale and Tatiana with In the Name of Love and Hate, are in this room here. And up here, we have 2 other people that are very good damage dealers, the Sihan and the Nelia. So, Pansy picks up Yang, puts it on, and this next bit is crucial. We click Pansy and send her to this room over here where the other 2 are. Every, 30 seconds? Yeah. Every 30 seconds, Yin will lose a Trifoth. So all we have to do is wait a minute of real time for this thing to breach. Just enough time for Pansy to join her teammates over there. By the way, I have recently learned that this tube here in the middle of information, or at least around this area, is actually what Nuggets use to get down here, because otherwise there would seem to be nothing connecting the layers. Alright, almost there. Oh, there's Pansy. Okay, while we're waiting on this, it's not often that I talk about controversial things on stream, mainly because that seems like something to... Oh, there we go. As soon as Yang breaches, suppress it. These 2 in the same room will start suppressing it. So we have them do that immediately. And as for Yin over here, we're actually going to let it do its thing. You might think, oh, why not attack it immediately? And that's because Yin has an attack that covers the entire front area of it. And almost no agents I have can survive it. However, and this is the crucial point, it only counts from the front. So anyway, our crew over here can take care of Yang by itself, so we can just ignore that. So Yin will come over here and basically kill anything in its way. Just immediately slaughters any and all clerks. which incidentally is affecting Big Bird's glide path, but we want that. We want that to happen, believe it or not. And once Yin goes through this door, he will pop out on the other side over here in this corridor. And this is when we jump it. That is everyone, right? At least everyone that's in the main crew. No, Galina's in there too. Alright, get over there. Luckily everyone here in this general area has high justice. And with so much attacks going on Yin at once, it can't survive for that long. Especially since a large chunk of this is white damage. And it dies. And Yin was also suppressed while we weren't looking. Because it was basically walking down this super long corridor. And it's done. They're both back in their containment. 2 out of 5. And the best part is, I'm pretty sure we could do that again. And get 4 out of 5 suppressions that we need. In 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes and we can accomplish most of our goal. Okay, we're gonna send the Yang Breachers to heal up a bit in information before sending them back into position. The big deal, the main threat is Yin's forward attack, but if Yin can't get to an agent from the front, then they're pretty helpless. Meanwhile with Yang, it moves very slowly as well, so in a super long corridor like this, it works. So let's do that again. And after that, we screw up Big Bird on purpose a few times to get it to bust out. Safety seems largely untouched, or at least this corridor does. And I guess Yang didn't make it on time. I do know that I effectively replicated what I did when I tested this off-screen. TV Tropes claims that Yang will breach anything it passes by, but it sure didn't breach Big Bird when it passed by. So either that needs time, or TV Tropes is false again. Because TV Tropes also claim that the person wearing Yang will die once it breaches, and Pansy is still alive and kicking and has no face. So, we had been fretting about this mission, but I'm glad I managed to solve it. I found a solution to make it significantly more manageable. The next part of the plan is to get all my white damage people together, park them rough about here since I'm pretty sure this starts information, and when Big Bird reaches, go ham. And since no work is being done, no risk of punishing Bird getting out, at least not so far. And the best part is, we're even getting information on Yang. We're gonna be able to finally fill this out. And then we don't have to worry about touching Yang again. Alright, Pansy, do that again. Oh, it's gonna take forever for her to walk down here. Okay, we're gonna set this to double speed, and back to what I was saying before. I more meant have Misona try and screw up on Big Bird on purpose, to try and get lowered Clythought that way. Alternatively, start doing the day normally, and just let the clerk deaths lower the Clythought for Big Bird over time. Okay, normal speed, because I don't want to mess something up. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Recently, there was a bit of a controversy over in the Limbus Company Reddit. The short version of this controversy, funny enough, can be summed up in the ever-immortal words of Captain Ahab. The fault once again lies with you, Ishmael! Did you know about this? Well, not just fan art, but basically Kurokomo Ishmael in general. Now, admittedly, it's not 100% Kurokomo Ishmael's fault, because some of the recent IDs have been trending towards fan service, like Blood-themed Barber Otis, Stoltinia Rogen were also had been released, and then Ishmael got Sayo a Sayo ID from Kurokomo, and Sayo was most well known for wearing her kimono on her shoulders to basically expose the entire top half of her chest. Now, of course, the fandom being what it is, of course, immediately a bunch of art of Sayo Ishmael got drawn up. But this irritated people who didn't like fan service and basically caused a war. And in the interest of trying to keep things under control, what some mods decided to do was to clamp down on the suggestive fan art. But of course, this is not a solution either, because it annoys people because of the censorship. And it basically erupted in an all-out war that just caused the mods to try and clamp down harder to try and keep it under control. And this not working and making things worse until it was basically an all-out fan war. Eventually, cooler heads prevailed, and everyone calmed down and apologized, and people that were banned in all of the drama got unbanned, and the mods apologized for being heavy-handed. But probably the funniest part is that one mod in particular that went a little overboard decided that their way of apologizing would be to do their own cover of Pass On. And the fandom had fun at the idea that everything that happened was basically just one giant pancake. Okay, everyone back to the departments. We now have 4 out of 5 Bob abnormalities in 13 minutes of the stream. I hope the universe doesn't smite me for this, but I'm feeling kind of proud of myself for coming up with that strategy. Okay, so all of that aside, what are we doing? I need to get Gabriella back down here to work on punishing her. I forgot about switching her to disciplinary. The good news is that we don't need to worry about Magical Girl. The bad news is that we now have less clerks to please her with. Okay, Central Command down to the lower corridor so you can access the abnormalities easier. I hate that I have to do that every day. Hang on, I need to look something up real quick. The mod that's saying the pass on cover to close this entire incident even made up a Kanto name for it. The Stigmatized Indulgee. The whole thing is just a wild ride from beginning to end. No, Gabriella, here. But also, why is it always Ishmael? First her molar ID, and now this. Okay, we'll leave Big Bird alone for now. Okay, anyone with black resistance that could... Basil could, but he also needs attachment. Might send him for a round against Burly Heaven first. Yeah, because it's not like the Sayo Ishmael design came out of nowhere, as the name implies. It is based off of Sayo, who originally wore that design. Had there been any controversy about Sayo when Library of Ruina first released, or is it just Ishmael that just causes this to happen? Oh, speaking of which, Reddit spoiled me a bit on this, where the thing about Sayo is that she has pretty decent power for a Kurokomo, and so she happened to have a run-in with she happened to have a run-in with Tanya, yeah, of the Reverberation Ensemble. And Sayo got rather cocky and made a claim that Tanya was just a little bitch. So of course the rules of media mean that Sayo basically got stomped instantly. Because that's just how that goes. Let's see about using Yin as a instinct trainer. I think I did this before. And it had good effect. Anyway, relevant to our previous conversation, relevant from our previous conversation, when the Sayo Ishmael ID was announced, someone did the logical follow-up and did this fan art of Sayo Ishmael sweating because Tanya was right behind her. Wondering, what am I doing today? A little bit of everything. Take a round of snow clean. So, oh, speaking of Limbus Company, since we've had no time to discuss it on Tumblr, oh, you mean Tanya can disable the auto counters because Gebura uses auto counters? What did you think of the previews of the new IDs? Hang on, I'm actually gonna pull the details on my phone just so that I know what I'm talking about here. Oh wow, London stomped them. Good for her. Normally I would use, yeah, that one too. Yeah, skill data. Can't touch Big Bird right now because we want to keep the Clifop lower. You also need to grind on this. Oh, funny you should mention the fuel, because people got entirely other lore implications from that. It very specifically specifies District 12 fuel, and if you count out the letters on the alphabet, what's the 12th one? Okay, but yeah. So, the new Gregor's idea, big thing, is coin power for burn on target. The interesting thing is that where a lot of recent IDs seem to have focused on where is the 120 270. Whereas a lot of recent IDs have focused on making sure the IDs don't stick on the field for long, for one reason or another, Gregor might actually encourage him sticking around. Because his thing is that if his fuel gets low enough, it turns into something called, overheated fuel. But as far as I can see, overheated fuel does not seem to have any real drawbacks. If anything, you actually get a benefit from having overheated fuel because more damage is applied when you used overheated fuel. And it says nothing about Gregor being damaged in turn. The potentially unfortunate part is unfortunate part is that fuel is limited, and eventually you're gonna need to reload on it. And it seems like the only way to reload is to use the clashable counter. Now, the good news about that is that it seems that the counter doesn't need to win in order to refill the fuel. It says combat start. So as soon as you queue up the clashable counter, you get more fuel, yeah. The reward you get for winning the clashable counter is more burn, which is kind of like you're applying burn with everything else. Why do you need your counter to apply burn too? That seems kind of needless. Okay, this... Do I risk another round of Snow White's apple? Because after the beginning of the day went... I completely forgot about this guy. We need to use him. After Gabriella recovers her HP, I'm gonna do that. Okay, Joy, time to do a round of radio. But yeah, it looks like Gregor's just an all-around solid unit. Okay, as a reminder, as we approach the end of the Clypok phase, with so many clerks dead, Magical Girl is not a concern, or rather, hatred. What's your armor weakness? Oh, pale. Otherwise, everything's fine. I highly doubt this mushroom has pale, so Tatiana, you take a first crack at it. Alright, so for the next ID that we're getting, it's, Sink East Don Quixote, otherwise known as Miss Steal Your Girl. Because genuinely, the look for her art is something. Alright, what can we get from this? It's the internet. What did you expect? Hang on. The big mechanic for Sync Don Quixote is a unique mechanic called Nerve Strike. You need more fortitude. I'm gonna send you again. Nerve Strike also seems to have no drawbacks. It's just good, period. You get Clash Power for 2 stacks, and okay, at 4 resistance, it's not gonna matter what happens. But yeah, Clash Power, Base Power, then Clash Power plus Base Power. This is an ID that's gonna need a bit of build-up, because a lot of her conditionals rely on increased haste. But in order to get that increased haste, Donnie needs to build poise on herself. So basically a few attacks have to happen where Don Quixote gets some poise, and once she can get some poise going, she will start getting haste. And that's when she will really take off. Is anyone surprised that Don Quixote just has the constant zoomies? Anyone? You know what? We'll have Amelia put this on for exactly 6 seconds and then return. Just so that we can unlock that final thing for Yang. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that shouldn't be enough to upset Yin. Because while we have proven that we can beat it, I still would rather not risk it. Look at that! We fully filled out Yang! And just when I thought we never would. I think we have enough for this stuff too. Yep. And so I got all of that when needed. What else? What else? Honestly, nothing is stopping us from just repeating that thing again to get all 5 suppressions. Now that I'm thinking about it. So many agents I could train, and I'm not sure where to start. Everett, work Instinct on Punishing Bird. It's not going to be much stats, but it's going to be something, and you do need it. And actually, you also need Justice. I want to get that to 2 minimum before we do anything else with you. But anyways, for the particulars of Don Quixote, coin power based on speed difference, gaze point count, inflict burn and burn count. For skill 2, she gains poise on Clash Wind, coin power based on speed difference, gain poise count equal to nerve strike, more burn, defense level down, more defense level down based on nerve strike. And then the skill 3 is just, the skill 3 is just declare duel, like you say. Deal more damage based on nerve strike, gain more poise on Clash Wind, and for nerve strike. Deal a bunch of damage on the last coin when you got a bunch of poise and burn on the enemy. Even more defense level down. And the defense is where it could get really interesting, because it the defense gets more coin power based on speed difference, so that could get very cracked depending on what the numbers are. Okay, since you are not gonna die, we're just doing this to move things along. Okay, what are our options? Radio, Snow Queen, and what's the third? Just the music box. We have a Violet Dawn incoming. And I'm just gonna have Rose grind on that then. And as for radio, Joy can do it some more. Now that we have all that, Misona go for the music box for 3 seconds. I won't lie, I'm actually looking forward to these 2 new IDs. They're both very good for different reasons. Oh, I never got around to telling you the absolute blunder I made during Mirror Dungeon. It's one of those things where you realize what happened and it's just kinda like, God damn it. Okay. But before anything else, we do need to keep Magical Girl satiated this time, so... Boop. Or, no, wrong button. Boop. I love how the execution bullets teleports them away to another dimension or something. It's very funny to me. Boop. And boop. Something that would be neat if I could pull it off would be to have for Amelia to get Blue Star, the Blue Star Eagle gift again. Her weapon is very good, but it could be even better. Since Queen of Hatred is safe, anyone I want to send her way for attachment training? There's Basil. Galena. The only thing that worries me about that is Tef versus Vov. Galena needs better armor. She already has full attachment. Uh, 3-4. Not you, definitely not. I think Joy could maybe do it because of fragment from somewhere. Something that would be something to consider. Okay, everyone begin your works. And then Gabriella's gonna do a round of our new friend once done with Judgment Bird, and then back to Judgment Bird. At 2 works per meltdown level, I am not sure if Gabriella can get at least the armor before the end of the day, but we're sure as hell gonna try. Especially if she keeps scoring so high. Yeah, if she can keep up a box rate of 20 per, then that's 40 per meltdown cycle. She might be able to get the armor today, bare minimum. The sword I could maybe delay for a single day, but the armor I want to get now. Well, it's not a guaranteed 20 per. It's probably 20 on the first one and 15 or so on the second. But that's still a pretty decent rate. Oh, and Punishing Bird broke out. Woo. For Gebura, all that's left is the tool abnormality. So we'll see what happens with that. The problem is that I think we've picked up all the decent tool abnormalities except maybe backwards clock. And so all that's left are the more problematic ones. Also, giant mushroom chunk. Okay, if I wanted to increase work success rate, I could just do escape information. I could send Lamar. I could send Tatiana on that then. Oh, speaking of which, where's Jose? There you are. You still need to increase your fortitude to 5, so do a round of yin. It's gonna take a while for you to get down there, though. Again, normally I would be using Big Bird, but I want to save Big Bird for when this whole wraps up. Insight. Or no, repression. Because that's very low. Okay, Gabriella, do your next round of punishing. Tatiana hasn't had a go at the mushroom yet. Oh, Punishing Bird is there. Stay in the room. I don't want to have Tatiana accidentally start hitting the bird and risking getting bitten. Yeah. Gabriella can pretty consistently score a 20 per. Okay, the bird can do whatever the bird wants. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. I have a ton of attachment people, but they're all dangerous in their own ways. Oh, looks like heading towards information, maybe. Okay, Tatiana, back to what you were doing before. Right, and then also, well, we wanted to send Joy to do this because she does need the attachment, and she's the one that's most likely to survive it. Where the hell is that? Oh, Central Command, taking away in Central Command. Come on. I see that red text. Okay, just kind of go over here for a minute so you don't antagonize the bird. Come on, go away already so I can feel safe doing things again. Oh, that was much worse. What? Okay, that's gonna help. It doesn't escape. Okay, what's the next? 30 boxes. Lucky Tatiana has In the Name of Love and Hate, so that that didn't do too much damage, even though that was not a great work. Only 9 boxes. What the hell, Tatiana? Okay, Punishing Bird finally got bored. It does have a Clifoth counter. I guess the Clifoth counter will trigger once it gets the enough bad work results. This day shouldn't be taking as long as it is, but I'm kind of paralyzed by choice. I'm not entirely sure what I should be focusing on when it comes to my agents. Because I have so many of them, and they all have different needs. Like every needs more instinct training. Alyssa needs more. We need more insight. We need everything. Anton, you keep doing what you've been doing here. Everyone just needs everything. Even with the super high black resistance that hurt. But she's just gonna get healed back up because of Queen. Okay, back to your station. Not you, Gabriella. Where is Gabriella? We can worry about that after the next meltdown level. Back to your post. We don't have any trouble reaching the aim for Clythoth for E-box levels by now. Who else says? I think I already had U-Train radio earlier. There's really no harm in doing it, I don't think. London, you train a bit in radio. If anyone needs super high justice, it's gonna be you. Kind of want to send some people doing rounds on this, just to top off their attachment. Okay, we have a Purple Dawn coming up. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. With the main thing being how many agents it may or may not kill before it ends. And that's kind of gonna be the thing. It's gonna be hard to tell which agents were killed by the ordeal and which were already there. Okay, and then Galena, you next. That might be the safe assumption, but I'm not the biggest fan of bleeding quirks. But it is what it is. I knew what I was signing up for when I grabbed Queen of Hatred. I just thought that maybe I was built different. I'm not. Never assume you're built different. It always ends badly. Okay, one more. Rin, just for shits and giggles, do Padeli. Alright, who does what? Oh, hi! Immediate Violet Noon. We have to prep for that when it comes out. Which means we need to breach Big Bird now. Or rather, after the ordeal finishes. Because if we don't, it might get breached by the Noon instead. Okay, Jose could probably handle one by himself. Rose and Joy, see if you can handle it. Since Gabriella's not in evidence. Lamarcus, handle that. Misona, grab that. Emilia, handle that. And Tatiana, handle that. Oh, upper. Pansy and Galena can do that. Wait, why? Okay, we're done. Let's do a quick sweep of the corridors. I think this might count as one agent, since I don't think anything has been by here. This might count as two, as I don't think Yin passed by here earlier. And this one, it's hard to tell. Yeah, I'll just... Okay. Okay, time for the next phase of our little excursion here. We have a Violet Noon coming up, and while that by itself wouldn't be too much of a problem, what is a problem is if it reaches Bird. So we're reaching Bird ahead of schedule here. Two for Big Bird. What do you mean by two counters? Oh, Punishing. Punishing is also at 2. That, that's kind of... I see what you're saying. Galena, you are a member of the White Damage Strike Force. Get up there. Who else is part of the White Damage Strike Force? Mary and Jose. It's gonna be Punishing Bird first, then Big Bird. Training department, clear out completely. Stick by control, just to be safe. Lamarcus, you are also part of this strike force because of your sword. Even if it's only He level, it's still pale damage. That should be everybody. Yeah. Okay, let's roll. Anton, you're the one that's lucky enough to get to do constant bird patrol. Or wait, cancel for right now. We need Misona in the corridor so she can get going immediately. Go back to safety for a bit. Okay, Anton, you get to grind your insight on the bird. How lucky are you? Misona, repress the bird. Repress it like you've never repressed anything. Okay, this is a complete failure so far, which is actually what we want to see. Even Misona's super high attachment isn't enough to get over how much Bird hates repression. Okay, heal up a bit, Misona. And then the fun starts. Remember when it took, like, so long to suppress Punishing Bird the first time? Okay, I think Misona's full health at this point, so back to the corridor. Anton, back to Big Bird. Imagine if this is enough to push Anton to Insight level 4, that would be kind of funny. Very low, it says. Okay, Misona, as soon as you get out, run. Over here. Don't know if I'm not too late. I might just wait a bit until it rings the bell again. Is he gonna go through the door? He might be, so Misona, get out of there. Head up to control for a bit. And in fact, everyone in safety also head up to control. For now, everyone enter the corridor. Okay, back to it. Where did you go? Oh, you went up there. Okay, that's still safety, so I'm very okay. Information. I'm kind of okay with that. Oh, everyone's stuck in the corridor. It might be for the best that they're in the lower room, because if they gave chase, they might have been hypnotized. Okay, where would be a safe place to mount the attack from, now that it's like this? Oh, stop moving further away. That could be problematic. Might have no choice but to move them in the nearby elevator and hope for the best. The place the bird ended up is kind of inconvenient. It needs to be in the elevator next door, otherwise it's no good. My test round of this went significantly smoother than this, believe it or not. If you can manage to get the punishing bird to if you can manage to get punishing bird to be in the same general area as you, then all the attacks will just overwhelm it. Well, I do tend to err on the side of caution. Where did you go? It's gonna lamp again. Oh god, yellow dot. Yeah, I hate that. Okay, if you're coming back this way, that could work. And I can do an attack as soon as you do a lamp round. Okay, everyone start attacking for right now. See what we can do with it. And the thing is, everyone here has like top tier justice, so it's kind of like the fact that it's doing this is kind of concerning. Okay, I may exclude Galena from this because her justice is so much lower than everyone else. Yeah, Justice 1. She shouldn't be here. That was too much of a risk. A tiny bit less damage, but... Okay, stay up here with the other control. I don't want to lose anybody. What do you mean by come in from the opposite side? Clarify what you mean by that. Okay, seems to be headed towards training. Like it might be able to use that to my advantage. I need to look at that map you gave me a long time ago to remind myself of what elevators count as what. Where's that map? I know you sent it to me relatively recently, so it should be somewhere around here. I really need to know this information. What the? Where is the map? I know I have it somewhere around here. Here it is. Okay, that map still counts as information. But that elevator still counts as information, so that could do something for us. Misona. Shoot, we left her here. Oh, you did aim for control, you absolute ass. Uh-oh. That could be a massive problem, because I have tons of people in control right now. It's where I sent everyone. Everyone scatter! Or... No, someone might get enchanted. It's too far of a run. Or no, wait. Too busy enchanting the clerks right now. Okay, back to information for now. Why did this not go as smoothly as my other attempts? Oh. Okay. Just moving to control right now. It's gonna might sit there eat clerks for a while. Or you could do that. Oh, this is getting stupid. Unlike my practice attempt, he decided to go basically the worst possible routes. Okay. Okay. If it gets desperate, I might do one thing I'm thinking of, which might be why the other attempt went the way it did. I'm going to try and read the movements of this thing, and then we'll see what happens. Basically, what happened before is that I was able to get all my warriors to corner him in safety and burn down Punishing Bird. It just went a little wrong this time. But that might be what I do. Punishing Bird takes 2 rounds to actually hypnotize someone to death. So if it comes down to it, I might just have everyone. I might just have all my warriors pile on at once, and hope it dies fast enough before it actually hypnotizes any agents permanently. That's what I did before. I basically bum rushed it and said, screw the consequences. Then I guess I really did just kill the bird fast enough for the enchantment to not take hold. Okay, where are you going? Oh, I swear if you go down there, I'm gonna be so angry. Let me look at that map again. As long as he doesn't move down to the lower layer, we might still be able to do this. This went so much better at the practice run. Why is this not going like the practice run? Move who? The only place they can really run is disciplinary. So disciplinary it is. Oh, he actually did do that. Wow, I hate that. He actually was that much of an ass. I'm almost tempted to call this a wash. Because unless I completely throw caution to the wind, then this is just not gonna end. Okay, Galena's no longer part of the crew. I need to remember that. Oh, it's the curtains. That's what's doing it. Okay, I am actually going to... Oh, you apps... You know what? Die. Okay, someone did get hypnotized. Back to safety for now. I wouldn't say bad call, not just yet. This may be my best chance, though. Come on, use your dumbbell. Okay, everyone in safety maybe move to control if he's gonna be over there. Screw it. Die, 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 die. That's how it happened last time. Once you get low enough, you gotta be risky. Well, that was fun. What did everyone else think of that? I suppose it doesn't particularly matter how it was done, as long as it's done. Okay, gonna give everyone a chance to get back to their stations, and then figure out where to go from there. Was the sarcasm in my tone not clear enough? Okay, Gabriella's gonna move back down to disciplinary, at least for right now. But once we get close to the noon, I think the more unfortunate news is what chaos that route in our clerk population. Everything's down to 1 except information, which is now at 0, and control, which is at 2. So we now have much less wiggle room with Queen of Hatred. Oh no, disciplinary's also at 2. Okay, Tatiana, do your repression round with Snow White's apple. And Gabriella, do your round of Judgment Bird. And then Prince, and then your second round of Judgment Bird. You're just all over the place. Because you're Gabriella. You're just like that. I do think that on the whole, this went well. Yeah, after Gabriella's done doing her rounds here, I'm actually going to move her back in training. Because training needs her to take out the monolith that lands there. Oh, gotta wait for her to heal first. Every other department is well covered. Misona could Emilia could probably do one by herself, and Lee Si-han the other. But, I guess okay, those are elevators at the far side of disciplinary. The non-fighting ones can be there. The non-fighting agents can hide there for this area. Did I not send Gabriella to do prints? What happened? Since it looks like we might win the day... Oh, right, that's fine. Since it looks like we might win the day after all, I'm going to try out my best Ryoshu imitation. S-Y-N-C. S-Y-N-C. Something right like that. And Ryoshu has a kind of deepish voice, while still sounding a bit high-pitched. On the bright side, we're almost done getting the armor from Judgment Bird. Okay, Gabriella, back to training with you. What else did I want to do? Big Bird's gonna have to wait again. I suppose cheap insect grinding, because why not? That's funny. Gabriella needs to work on something to get the mushroom spores off. It might be a meh, but it'll at least do what I want. Yeah, I have. It actually shoots out little stars. I cannot not see your exact numbers. Oh, 106. No, pretty good. Better. Now we have that song stuck in my head. Basil, attachment train some more, why don't you? Let me go in there. No, I'll wait until Gleam gets something better. It's gonna be time to prepare for the noon. Ah, interesting. I just got a bunch of armor from Yin just now, so I might slap that on some of the people that need it. You know, it might be worth it to start prepping for the noon now. Everyone to your nearest elevator. I kind of dislike that these are the only elevators in this entire area. I guess we won't get more until we get Cheseds. I know you said big rooms, I just wanted to call them back. Okay, Lasihan, you take this corridor over here. Tatiana, take this one over here. And Emilia, where's Emilia? Take this one up here. We can hopefully attack from every angle like this. Okay, you non-fighters go hide in the elevators over in this far end. Okay, everyone in training take this middle elevator. You guys in information take this one. It's a pretty versatile elevator. Yeah, you guys take this one. Also a versatile elevator. Pansy, what are you doing? Go hide with the other non-combatants. I would think not, because a large chunk of clerks did get wiped out so far. She does not have Exave, she has Grinder. Or, yeah, Grinder's still pretty high. Alright, join Tatiana then in the combatant corridor. Is that everyone? Okay, you're in that corridor on purpose. Emilia, do a work on Happy Teddy Bear. You don't need the attachment, but just to click the fly pod a bit. Okay, one more and then it's go time. Some clerks will probably die when it starts. But as long as all the combatants dispatch, if all of the combatants dispatch their things fast enough, yeah, looks like we're completely clear of agents. Everyone's in some elevator or another. Okay, Joy. Since you have the highest black damage and therefore could survive after exiting, Violet does black damage, so Joy would be the most likely to survive if things should go a bit awry. Okay, what do we got? Okay, they haven't actually spawned in yet. Give it another second. Okay, they've loaded in. Okay, who takes what? Okay, 4 up here, 1 down here. Emilia, Lisihan, and Tatiana, you can take this. Gabriella, you take this. Mary has a massive white weakness. It would actually be bad to send her. Jose can take this. I guess Lamarcus can also take that one. Okay, then Mary can take that. Who's got information? Lamarcus can take that. Might send me Sona for support, though. Endure damage is still damage. I could Would it be worth it to send London or not? Oh, no. I can't send me Sona. Someone needs to take care of the safety one. Okay, looks like the most problematic one is safety because there isn't an immediate person that can be sent to it except Misona. Would London be fine, or would it not be worth the center? I'd say this for now. No, Misona on her own might be fine. Okay, Lamarcus isn't doing too well against this one here, so... Emilia, assist. And done. Everyone back to your departments. Big Bird didn't even lose any Clyfok. Time to execute some clerks because why the heck not? Or do you think all of that killed enough clerks, or should we execute some anyway? Let's just do our utmost end the day at this point. The main things we're going to focus on now is getting the armor from Justita and getting as far as possible with Snow White. Yeah, another 2 I think even 1 more round and we have the armor. The weapon can be next time. And then whatever other training that needs to be done. I thought I summoned everyone back to their departments. Amelia, what are you still doing over there? Now that all that nonsense is done with, I can finally train Jose in some fortitude. Wasn't able to do that all day. Okay. You guys do your routine that you're familiar with at this point. So, despite some hiccups here or there, we actually accomplished everything we wanted to do today. I feel like that's worth celebrating. I'm sure you were. Gabrielle, stop that. You don't gotta keep us in suspense, you're fine. And I think that was enough for the armor. Yep. Another 150 for the weapon, but again, we can do that next time. Although, I think we can get a head start by having Gabriella do around a bit. Oh, Punishing Bird, that's fine. Why are you so hard to please? Oh! Incidentally, that little bit of dialogue that might have been seen just now actually spoils what this thing's real name is if you know your literature. Okay, I think I have enough for the guidelines here. Okay, Spore. Point gain, Black Weakness, which is not the best thing. And then the usual 34, I think, for that. Clyfoth was decreased up to 3 non-insight works. Employees had a chance to get infected, but counteracts with more other abnormality. When work result is bad, Clyfoth lowers. If when Clyfoth hits 0, people are lured and turn into mushroom monsters. And then suppressing mushroom people can turn you also into a mushroom person, because it's just annoying like that. Okay, Gabriella, more Judgment Bird. Just to get a head start on the 150 for the sword for next time. And I do not believe we need to go much further in today. As soon as I feel satisfied, we can just stop. The thing I have learned about Lobcore is that even if a situation might seem like it's going wrong, you can't give up until the very end. Because you might still find a way to turn it around. It might be that no matter what your best attempts, you just won't be able to do it, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try. Just grit your teeth and think of whatever possible solutions you can. Now, admittedly, I exaggerated, but I exaggerated a bit for comedic effect, but there is something to be said about how Oxygen Not Included has its own brand of difficulty. Because if you have the right kind of creative mind for it, Oxygen Not Included is very good, but if you don't, then it's much more difficult. Because it feels like in Oxygen Not Included, you need to see like 5 steps ahead of what you're currently doing. And it's just kind of like, give me a story. I will discuss stories with you all day. Give me a visual novel. I will puzzle it through. But a life sim like Oxygen Not Included, I get serious choice paralysis from that. And I'm just like, what do I do? I have so many options that I legit don't know which is the right one. Remember when last week we had a bunch of people here? What happened to that? Of course it's the one called Nicola. Yeah, I think that's enough. Pulling the plug. What did we get out of that? More justice for Misona, cool. More fortitude for Lamarcus, but not quite 5. Justice for Everett. SP for Alyssa. Prudence for Rose. Bunch of stats for Joy, including more justice. Pansy finally got Fortitude 5. Basil needs more Fortitude, but she got 5 temperaments, so that'll make things easier. Could probably start training on her. Galena didn't change. London didn't change. Jose got 5. Can put on Exuve now. Rin didn't change. Anton got more Prudence. And Tatiana didn't change, but got a bit of boost in everything. Okay, what are our tools? Ugh. Ugh. I think the bracelet's actually gonna be our best bet. I hate that. Oh, to work in an experiment with my favorite junior. I feel unstoppable, like a tiger given wings. Don't be so humble. You could have gone to any wing you wanted. But you still chose to come here. Is it because of your trust in me? Just you wait. I'll make sure you won't regret your decision. Look at this. Everyone's subconscious leads straight to death. Everyone is forcibly logging away their own light and potential. And here, this is the treatment I've told you about. The treatment for the soul. Trust me, we've made a worthy first step. People will gather around us soon enough. I sincerely welcome you to this place. Gebura will be back soon. Manager, if it's alright with you, could you pass my words along? Gebura, she's strangely obsessed with suppression, wouldn't you say? Yeah. Any casualty to employees during the suppression process, she entirely disregards it. Lady Angela's perfectly aware, but she conveniently turns a blind eye to it. Gebura's great at handling the abnormalities when they breach. It's as if she was born for this job. So I suppose a few extra dead employees is considered a reasonable trade-off. But you see, as a manager, you should know that massacring abnormalities is not our only priority. Well, I don't know if Gebura will listen to you, but I'd really appreciate it if you could give it a go. I saw Chesed leaving. What nonsense did he ramble on about this time? Be honest with me, I can see everything. Let me warn you. Don't act as if you know everything. I've been here for a long time. I've seen much more than you have. Experiment subject 0934. We'll be running a simple test before we administer the chemicals. Who the hell? Gebura, the machine with a soul. A wonderful creation of Lobotomy Corporation. What does it mean? What does it mean to have a soul? It means one may truly have worth. It's the center of the faith of our venerable Lord I believes in. I participated in this experiment because I trust him. I don't know if I have a soul. If I'm disassembled, will there be a soul inside me? Well, it can easily be determined just by talking with you. A soul cannot be seen, but it can be felt. I will be reborn as I confront my own soul. Mankind and the world will be changed soon. Trust in A, for he is our Savior who shall lead us all. Who are these people? So you're Miss Gebura. I heard a lot about you from Christopher. They say you have a real soul. Our venerable A, it really is remarkable. Don't pay attention to those who disrespect you. They do not know your true worth. Oh, meet Gilly, our daughter. She is kind and sweet, just like you. Does this child also have a soul then? Of course. A soul is something every living creature has. It's the essence of us all, yet not known to many. This world only believes in things that can be seen with the eye. It's a sad belief that will eventually lead everyone to destruction. Miss Angela, is that a monster? That is what we call an abnormality, Gebura. How is it different from monsters? Monsters are in themselves repulsive, terrible creatures at the core and the start of their existence. However, abnormalities originate from humans. Is it because of the way I've been doing this plot these days? Then why does that abnormality have Mr. Christopher's watch? And why does it make sounds as if it would make... Is this nothing there? Did Christopher have a poor run-in for... Did poor Christopher have a run-in with nothing there? Oh dear. You see, Gebura, that's because abnormalities originated from them. It's not like they materialize all of a sudden or come into existence from nowhere. Do abnormalities eat humans? Is it mimicking Mr. Christopher like that because it devoured him? I don't understand. That is a complicated thing to explain, Gebura. What's certain is that this did not happen because of someone's vice or malice, and that the shape you perceive as a monster certainly carries the will of the man you called Christopher. Excuse me, Tiferet. Why does the experiment log include a step where Miss Isabel is sent to chamber DI-01? D101? Why should we place her anywhere near that horrific monster? Well, both in gameplay and story, it is technically possible for more than one copy of an abnormality to exist. You told me that Central Command can duplicate abnormalities by pure chance? And I think... And Leviathan... I have very vague memories of this, but Leviathan has a scene where someone turns into Schadenfreude. So... make of that what you will. I don't know, Gebura. You know she isn't known for explaining the purpose of every experiment to us. I think I heard it's to rigorously determine the loss of humanity, but I don't get what it really means. That's definitely going to end up hurting Miss Isabel. I should tell Miss Angela to stop it. Gebura, maybe you should just keep quiet about it. I've seen other machines question her orders, and Miss Angela would reset us if we disobeyed her. How long is this cutscene? Please, if you are feeling anger, I suggest that you rather embrace that anger and move on. Wouldn't that be better than to lose your memory and exist as a lifeless puppet, being a shame to the soul you got to bear? Oh god, mistakes have been made. What do you think the ending to that story is? Where did Christopher's wife and his daughter, Gilly, disappear to? I won't ever know either. Hard to say if it's fortunate or unfortunate, but the experiment was not under my responsibility. All I know is that that old blanket Gilly had was the only thing to come out of the monster's chamber. Most people wouldn't even talk to us, since machines weren't worth putting their minds to. But Christopher and Isabella, they told me I was worthy of something. They looked past my exterior and saw what was inside of me, something I wasn't even aware of. I'm glad I abandoned the Jasper imitation. That would have been terrible with all the talking Gebura was doing. Those monsters were obligated to fill abnormalities have killed many people since then. And yet those things never died. It's not fair. Why do we have to treat them nicely? Don't pay any heed to the employees in front of you. When an abnormality shows up, their lives will be the least of your worries. Since it's clear that those monsters feel pain, I'll dish out as much pain as possible. That's the only reason why I'm standing here. Don't ever patronize me again. 3 different Aleph abnormalities. We're not doing this for a while. May as well pick up our prize from the previous day. But after this, we're pivoting to Chesed. Rabbits. Mobility reduction doesn't do me any good. The real question is, what do we do next time? Gabriella, time to get a promotion. Justita. Who will take over Sword Sharpened with Tears? Who knows? Oh, but before I forget, Gabriella and Tatiana switch places. Or... It's getting very late, so I will decide other aspects of what we do from here next week. I'm gonna begin management just to keep Gabriella now having the armor. But look, we now have a fully kitted out disciplinary team. And this thing. So, next time on the left side of reality, we figure out what we want to do now that we can go no farther with Gebura. And once we decide what to do, we put that plan into action. Now if that plan goes well, we can really only wait and see. See you here next week.